Credit cards sell you the illusion of ultimate flexibility. When you swipe your card for a major purchase, the statement eventually arrives with a minimum payment so incredibly small that it almost feels like a loophole in the financial system. Pay just 2% of the total balance and they will leave you alone for another 30 days. It feels like you are cleverly preserving your cash flow. It feels like smart modern money management. But the math behind that tiny payment is designed to do exactly one thing. It is engineered to extract maximum interest from your life energy while keeping you permanently on the hook. Today we are going to look closely at the mathematical reality of the minimum payment trap. We will see what happens when two people make the identical $10,000 purchase, but choose two completely different ways to pay it back over time. Meet Ryan and Daniel. Both are 30 years old. Both earn exactly $60,000 a year. Both live in the same city and face the same unexpected $10,000 home repair. The roof leaks, the HVAC system dies, and they both have to put the massive expense on a credit card. The card they both use has a 24% annual percentage rate. When the first statement arrives, Ryan looks at the numbers on the screen. The balance is $10,000. The minimum payment required is just $200. Ryan thinks this is a great deal. $200 a month barely affects his current lifestyle. He can still go out to dinner with his friends on the weekends. He can still afford his 3 different streaming subscriptions. He can still save a little bit of cash in his checking account for a rainy day. He decides to simply stick to the minimum payment and let the balance ride. Daniel looks at the very same statement. He knows how compound interest works. He knows that the 24% rate is a financial emergency. He decides right then to pay $400 every single month no matter what happens. This means Daniel has to cut $200 from his monthly budget immediately. He cancels his planned summer vacation. He stops eating out completely. He feels the harsh friction of his debt every single day. The first year passes. Ryan pays his $200 every month without fail. He feels smart. His budget remains intact. He enjoys his weekends. He even buys a new phone on an installment plan. But let us look at the underlying math. A 24% interest rate means Ryan is charged roughly $200 in interest the very first month. His payment covers the interest charge but leaves the principal balance almost completely untouched. After 12 months of payments, Ryan has paid $2,400 out of pocket. His remaining balance is still $9,800. He has made almost zero actual progress. Daniel, meanwhile, is suffering. He pays $400 every single month. He feels the constant sting of his tight budget. He says no to social invitations from his friends. He packs a peanut butter sandwich for lunch every day. He drives a 15-year-old car that rattles on the highway. He questions if this massive sacrifice is really worth it. But his math is telling a different story. After 12 months, Daniel has paid $4,800 out of pocket. His balance has dropped to roughly $7,500. The principal is finally shrinking. Year 2 brings unexpected friction for both of them. Ryan gets an alarming notice in the mail. His credit card company has suddenly raised his interest rate to 28% due to a single late payment on a minor medical bill. Suddenly, his $200 minimum payment does not even cover the monthly interest charge. His balance actually starts growing. He is paying $200 every single month, but his total debt is increasing. He feels completely trapped. He tries desperately to increase his payment to $250, but inflation has made his groceries and gas much more expensive. He cannot find the extra $50 in his budget. He is stuck making the minimum payment while his balance slowly balloons past $11,000. Daniel also faces extreme friction in year 2. His old car needs a major transmission repair. It costs $800. Because he has been paying so aggressively on his credit card debt, his cash savings are practically zero. He considers putting the car repair on the credit card and dropping his monthly payment back to the minimum. But he refuses to step backward. He takes on a weekend side hustle delivering groceries. He works 14 extra hours a week just to cover the car repair and maintain his strict $400 credit card payment. He is chronically exhausted. He feels like he is missing out on the best years of his 30s. But his balance drops down to $4,500. By year 3, the financial gap between them becomes staggering. Ryan is paying $250 a month now just to keep the total balance from exploding further. He has paid over $8,000 in total payments since the original purchase. But because of the punishing 28% interest rate, his principal balance is still hovering right around $10,000. He has paid nearly the equivalent of the original debt in interest charges alone, and he still owes the full original amount. He realizes with horror that he is essentially renting his own money from the bank. Daniel makes his final massive payment in month 36. He is completely and totally debt-free. He paid a total of $14,400 over 3 years. That is the original $10,000 plus $4,400 in interest. It was a painful, grueling 3 years. He missed out on trips. He lost sleep working his side hustle. He wore old clothes. But the debt is gone forever. He now has $400 of free cash flow, returning to his budget every single month. He immediately starts investing that $400 into a low-cost index fund. Let us fast forward and zoom out to year 10. Daniel has been investing that $400 every month for 7 straight years. Assuming an 8% average annual return in the market, his investment portfolio has grown to over $45,000. He has a massive safety net. He has peace of mind. He has real financial options. If he loses his job, he can survive for months. Ryan is still paying the credit card company. His balance slowly crept down to $7,000 only because he finally managed to force himself to pay $300 a month. But over 10 long years, he has paid over $30,000 in total payments. $30,000 to borrow $10,000 for a home repair a decade ago. And he still owes $7,000. He has absolutely no investments. He has no safety net. He is still one emergency away from total financial disaster. The minimum payment is not a tool designed for your convenience. It is a highly optimized mathematical formula designed to maximize the lender profit margin. According to the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, minimum payments are often calculated as just 1% of your principal balance plus the accrued monthly interest and fees. This specific formula guarantees that the vast majority of your monthly payment goes directly to interest, not the principal balance. It guarantees that the debt will linger for decades. It guarantees that you will pay the original purchase price 2, 3, or even 4 times over before you are free. When you choose to make only the minimum payment, you are not preserving your cash flow. You are selling your future cash flow at a severe and punishing discount. You are trading a small inconvenience today for a massive, heavy financial burden tomorrow. The math simply does not care how you feel about your budget. The math does not care if you want to go on vacation. The math only cares about the compound interest equation. Daniel accepted the friction immediately. He took the pain up front. He compressed all of the suffering into 3 highly focused years. Ryan avoided the friction. He chose the easy path because it felt comfortable, but the friction caught up to him eventually. He spread the pain out over a decade and multiplied the total financial cost by 3. This is the real math of the minimum payment trap. Debt is never just a monthly payment you have to make. Debt is a legal claim on your future labor and your future time. When you stretch out the repayment timeline, you drastically increase the overall cost of that claim. The only way to win this game is to break the formula. Pay more than the minimum. Cut your budget to the bone. Take on a second job or a side hustle. Sell things you do not need. Do whatever it takes to attack the principal balance directly. Because the longer you stay in the minimum payment trap, the harder it becomes to escape. And the math will always collect its due. Let us dive deeper into the daily psychology of this trap. During year 4, Ryan starts to feel the true psychological weight of the lingering debt. The credit card statement arrives in his mailbox every single month like a recurring nightmare. He opens the envelope and sees that the balance has barely moved. He starts to resent the home repair that caused this debt in the first place. Every time he looks at his roof, he thinks about the $30,000 he is going to end up paying for it. He starts to experience financial anxiety. He has trouble sleeping. He argues with his partner about money. The debt is no longer just a math problem. It has become a source of chronic stress that degrades his quality of life. He tries to ignore it, but the monthly payment is a constant reminder of his past decision to take the easy way out. Daniel, on the other hand, experiences a profound psychological shift. Once he becomes debt-free in year 3, he realizes how much power he actually has over his finances. The discipline required to pay off the $10,000 debt has fundamentally changed his relationship with money. He no longer sees debt as a normal part of adult life. He sees it as an emergency that must be eliminated as quickly as possible. This mindset shift spills over into other areas of his life. He becomes more intentional about his spending. He continues to live below his means even though he no longer has the credit card payment. He realizes that the real reward of paying off the debt is not just the extra $400 a month, it is the freedom from anxiety and the confidence that he can handle whatever financial challenges come his way. In year 5, a recession hits the economy. Companies start laying off workers. Ryan is terrified. He knows that if he loses his job, he will not be able to make his credit card payment, let alone pay for his rent and groceries. He has zero savings because every extra dollar he earns goes towards servicing his debt. He is completely dependent on his next paycheck. He goes to work every day feeling a sense of dread, hoping that his name is not on the next list of layoffs. The minimum payment trap has made him incredibly fragile. He has no margin for error in his life. Daniel is also concerned about the recession, but his financial situation is completely different. By year 5, his investment portfolio has grown to $12,000. If he loses his job, he knows he can liquidate some of his investments to cover his basic living expenses while he looks for new work. He does not have a credit card payment hanging over his head. His monthly overhead is significantly lower than Ryan's. He goes to work focused on doing a good job, not paralyzed by the fear of losing it. The financial friction he endured during those first 3 years has built a fortress around his life. He is resilient. He can weather the economic storm. Let us explore another common trap associated with minimum payments, the illusion of the credit score. Many people believe that making the minimum payment on time every month is good for their credit score. They think they are building a strong credit history. While it is true that on-time payments are a positive factor, carrying a high balance relative to your credit limit is a major negative factor. This is known as credit utilization. Because Ryan's balance remains close to his $10,000 limit for years, his credit utilization ratio is extremely high. When he tries to apply for a car loan in year 6, the lender sees this high utilization and considers him a risky borrower. They approve him for the loan, but only at a subprime interest rate of 12%. His decision to make minimum payments on his credit card has now infected his other financial decisions, costing him thousands of extra dollars in interest on his car loan. Daniel, meanwhile, has a pristine credit profile. Because he aggressively paid off his credit card, his utilization ratio is near 0. When he needs to finance a reliable used car in year 6, the lender offers him their best prime rate of 5%. The discipline he showed in paying off the credit card saves him money on every subsequent loan he takes out. The mathematical benefits of his early sacrifice continue to compound over time. The credit card industry spends billions of dollars every year researching human behavior. They know exactly how to design a statement that minimizes the psychological pain of debt while maximizing their profit. They make the total balance small and easy to ignore while highlighting the minimum payment in bold letters. Game.